why that happened. This is crazy.
I'm just trying to share it to my Twitter.
Yes, I think I will share this one as well. That is insane. Okay, I hope we are back.
Well, we're glad to have you back. Oh my God. Can you hear
Give
me?
this. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. I
Um,
am so
good.
sorry about that. I have no idea what that was about, but I think we may have been kicked off after it was an hour, which is crazy.
I think so. Your video is okay. Oh
Am
yeah,
I
it's okay.
back? Okay.
Yeah, you're
I'm so
back
sorry
now.
about that. Honestly, that is crazy. I do not know what happened because nobody can call me, so it wasn't a call. I was just kicked out, but I suspect the life was set for an hour, and we talked over that,
Exactly.
which is fine. But at least I would like for us to continue just that last bit, and then um we can conclude for today because I think we've talked plenty. Um, but yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Guys, please, if you have questions regarding how and why we should invest in Akwa Ibom, this would be a great time for us to start discussing those questions, especially in the creative industry or just things you can do with your things you can create with your hands. I think is anything in the creative industry. How can we invest in Akwa Ibom, and why do you think it's necessary for us to invest in Akwa Ibom? For me, I would go first before Kingsley continues and tells us what he thinks. Um, I think that investing in Akwa Ibom is why we should invest in Akwa Ibom because where else do we have to develop? Everyone else is developing their countries. Everyone else is developing their states. Where else do we have to call home that we can develop and look back and say, "Hey, I'm proud of where I'm from," or at least the people in my state are doing well enough that the poverty rate is reducing and the unemployment rate is reducing. And so I am really excited for us to get into the details and maybe have some questions that will come in from other people and other contributions as to how we can invest in Akwa Ibom and why we should invest in Akwa Ibom. How we can invest in Akwa Ibom is children, right? Investing in the young children, young high school graduates, secondary school graduates. I think it's one of the best ways we can invest in Akwa Ibom. And most people do not know this, but I serve on the board of an NGO with Kingsley. So you and I serve on the same board of trustees for an NGO that is helping to increase the earning capacities for Akwa Ibom young people. And the work that we are doing is honestly incredible that I can't wait for us to be able to talk about those things. Because I think what most people are very weary of people just coming online and saying, "Hey, we need change, we need good things to happen, we need da da da," but they're not really doing anything in real life to that effect, right? So
Mm,
I would like for us to maybe dive a little bit more into that. I'm so sorry that we you were cut off um
okay, it's
while you
okay.
were talking.
Understandable. It's okay.
Yeah,
At
but
least we're back.
yes. So I would like for us to talk about that. And if you have any contributions, questions regarding how you think we can invest in Akwa Ibom and why you think we can invest in Akwa Ibom, that has nothing to do with government, has nothing to do with politicians, please drop them in the comments and we will be addressing that. But yeah, Kingsley, I'd like to hear from you. What are some
Okay.
of the ways you think?
very important question, because personally I've always been a person that believes in entrepreneurial development in a society. I've really not been a type of person, a young person that believes in government, that believes that, excuse me,
Yeah, it's sad though that we can't believe in
that
our government as young
believes that
people.
politicians has to come in and help me and all of this. So I always
Hmm.
believe that I have the capacity to create wealth, to invest into the people, to invest into myself. So for
Hmm.
me, it is very, very crucial, and it's important, which I'm also advocating, that we invest into our environment, especially to the young people. Now,
Yeah.
for instance, when the young people are fully, equipped with skills, skill set development, tech
Hmm.
development, and all of these potentials that would, help them to attain a certain level, a global level, right?
Yeah.
There will be there's a lot of factors that will be setting. There will be reduction of, I mean, the crime rate will reduce,
Absolutely
right?
will.
There will be a mindset shift. There will
Absolutely.
be an awareness.
Hmm.
There will be critical thinkers, because these things will
Yes.
help them to think out of the box. They'll think, creatively on how to better the environment, the society. So for
Hmm.
me, I think it's very important, because, like, for instance, we have a lot of young people that just wanting and, expecting or
Hmm.
believing to, or aiming to become PA to a politician, for them to be able to make ends meet and make
My
and make.
brother, like, ndị ọkinaibinam,
And
because
the mindset,
it's
the
crazy.
mindset is really, horrible, because, for instance, you can't give what you don't have. You
You
can't say
can't.
what you. So
You
with
can't.
this, creative development and investment to the young people, it's going to build their mental capacity to think differently, right?
Yes.
So it is important that we invest into the young people of Akwa Ibom State to be able to set them apart, because it will be a proudest thing when they're talking about creatives. The Akwa Ibom youth are, Akwa Ibom young people are leading. You're
I
talking about
know.
you're talking about tech. The Akwa Ibom young people are
Are
leading.
leading.
Talking about maybe uh, uh, modern agriculture, the young
Hmm.
people are leading. They're talking about any form of creative set that young people are
Yeah.
leading, because now it's going to create it's going to generate a lot of revenue for the state as well.
It will, and I don't know how they're
Going
not
to
seeing
generate
it.
it's going to
This,
generate a huge revenue for the state government. It's
yes.
going to reduce the rate of inflation. It's going to reduce, it's going to reduce what's the word? It's going to reduce oh,
I
forgotten
wish I
what I
could
was.
help.
What's the
Earning capacity, maybe, like earning
earning capacity, like
capacity.
it's going to
Yes, employment, unemployment. Yes,
reduce unemployment so
yes.
largely that, it will, in fact, the government are going to be so excited about it, because it will help them, lead
Mm-hmm.
effectively. So for me, it's a
Yes.
win. It's
Yes.
a win. It's a win. It's a win. So how do we invest into Akwa Ibom, right? In terms of photography, now things like grants,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Stuff like grants, stuff like community development,
Yes.
uh, vocational classes,
Mm-hmm.
mentorship programs, and stuff like this to be able to help them. Apart from the skill set
Yes.
investment,
Yes.
there's also a mindset and awareness investment,
Mm-hmm.
because with this mentality, you'll be able to control and manage the development you have, and then
Right.
sort of like the investment you have already. So for me, I I give 100, and I also advocate that if you have the capacity to invest into the young people of Akwa Ibom, please kindly go ahead and,
Please,
just
really. Yeah, you actually gave a lot of insights really about the ways you mentioned grants, and this is what I this is I'm glad that I brought you on as my first guest because grants, I don't people always think obviously there is government grants, but there is also businesses, thriving businesses in Nigeria, or thriving businesses of Nigerians outside Nigeria, that they can come up with grants and say, hey, we want to help, I don't know, there'll be a competition or whatever, come out, let's see your skills.
Very
Yeah,
valid, valid, valid,
competitions. You have to
valid.
create this environment where people know there is more I can learn and there's more I can do with my skills. And I think grants, them knowing that at the end of this competition, I will potentially have this opportunity to either increase, whatever tech equipment I have that I'm using, or I'll be able to expand and know, okay, what to do next or what not to do next. You learn so much from competitions and seeing people in that same creative space be themselves. And I think it's awesome, really. Those are definitely some of the ways how we can invest in Akwa Ibom, and the ways we can do that in terms of creativity and photography. That's brilliant. I think we've lost Kingsley. I'll see how we can get him back, and this life will not be much longer from now. But I'm so excited that we get to talk about these things openly. And someone mentioned tech development in the comments, and I completely agree. Tech development is one of the ways that our NGO is giving back to our Ibom kids by training them for free, giving them tech scholarships and training them for free. So if you are just joining us, we're discussing ways we can invest in Akwa Ibom and how we can do that successfully. Because hey, it's not just about investing in Akwa Ibom, right? It's why are we doing that? Because you need to know why you're investing in your state. You need to know why you're investing in these young people. What is your end goal? If you're going to give a business grant for Akwa Ibom creatives to apply for and to go after, you have to also consider, why are you giving this business grant? What is your end goal? What thing are they supposed to do or create that at the end of it will help these people grow for themselves? And then also in the future is potential to bring back revenue, not just to the state, but also to the people who can be trained through that person. So I'm really excited, guys. We're talking about how to invest in a Ibom. Keep putting your comments and your thoughts. Keep sharing your thoughts in the comments and telling us what you think we can do to invest in Akwa Ibom and how we can do that. And especially, why would anybody want to invest in Akwa Ibom? Why would you want to invest in Akwa Ibom, seriously? As an Akwa Ibomite, why would you want to do that, right? We need to talk about these things. Why you want to invest in Akwa Ibom and how you can do that. And if you don't know how, you're in the right place, okay? Because I myself and Kingsley serve on a board of an NGO that is actively investing in Akwa Ibom youth. So if you have enough money and you don't know what to do with your money, or you don't know how to actually invest in these kids, that is a sustainable way, that is something they can produce in the future and create a ripple effects and train other people. We have an NGO in Akwa Ibom you can trust that does that work for you. And all you have to do is support us with your finances and we will do the work. So,
110%.
what now?
I mean, 110%, and I vouch
Yeah.
for you.
Thank you. I mean, you serve on the board, so I'm hoping you vouch for us. But yeah, so welcome back. Let's continue talking about briefly, right, about how we can invest. Because I think, sorry, you mentioned, yeah, you mentioned how and why, and I was just
Yeah,
adding to that,
anyway,
and to
you
what you
just had it.
said. Competitions, grants. If you have money to give grants, it doesn't have to be a lot, just something to motivate these kids to say, hey, you're doing great, be motivated, do not lose focus. Because especially when they're transitioning from being an amateur creative to being a
And
professional
then
creative,
you need to have recognition and awards.
you do, and you can, oh, you can talk about that next whenever, and how creatives can go out and seek for grants, how they can go out and seek for these awards. Because I don't know how many people really know that awards sometimes don't just come to you. You need to put yourself out there in order to be recognized and potentially given an award. And also, I don't know how many people also think that if you, as an Akwa Ibom creative, becomes a brand name and you hone your craft, every time someone works with you or every time someone talks to you, as an Akwa Ibomite, you are representing Akwa Ibom, whether you want to admit it or not. You are
Absolutely.
representing Akwa Ibom out there. So
Exactly.
why wouldn't you want to be a great, creative leader in your space? Why wouldn't you want to, that's it's benefits for everyone, including the state. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
I'm really excited that we get to talk about these things. So let me know if you have questions for us, if you have questions for Kingsley, if you are a creative, if you are a photographer, you have questions for Kingsley, or you have questions for me, go ahead and drop them in the
So,
comments.
so while we're just waiting for a couple questions to come in from the comment section, I'll just add this that, as a photographer in Akwa Ibom,
Yeah, I think we've lost Kingsley again. Guys, we're also dealing with Nigerian network, so bear with us as we'll have him back with us shortly. But I'm so glad that the network allowed us for at least an hour prior to this. So if you haven't watched any of our sessions for a long time, you're fine. After the session ends, you'll be able to access these recordings in my channel. Just go on the live and you'll be able to see the past live sessions and what we discussed. You will not be able to interact with it, obviously, because it's no longer in session, but at least you can watch it and you can see and hear some of the things we discussed. So yeah, I think we've completely lost him, and I hope he can come back on. Otherwise, I'll have to wrap this up. So no questions in the comments. I understand it's our first live, so we're trying to get to know each other, which is good. But I would like you to ask questions. Hi, Sonke. Sonke said hi. Hi, GA Reaction. I don't know if you're still here. Hi, Slayer of Cheese, whatever that means. And Leisure Demand. That's awesome. I think we have a question from Aidi for Kingsley, but I'll let him come up so he can respond to that. But from what I know, I think he is already doing that, and he's been doing that for the couple of years, if I'm not mistaken. But he will come and correct that if it's not true, and he will tell us what exactly he's doing to train Akwa Ibom Akwa Ibom creatives. Okay, hi Choco Marissa. Oh, that's my manager. That's my manager, guys. Choco Marissa. I can't wait to tell more people about my manager and what he's doing behind the scenes to get creatives to be out there and become a voice in this generation. He's one of the people that hopefully I will get to come on live with me and to discuss some of those things, because our compromise are doing really great things. And I just know that more people need to hear about it. More Aquabamites need to hear and see these people, that they are Aquabamites who are literally so passionate about the progress of our states and the progress of the young people of our states. So, welcome back, Kingsley. Okay, can you hear me? You can't hear me. Oh, that's crazy. Hello? Can anyone else hear me apart from Kingsley? I need someone in the comments to say yes, you can hear me, or no, you can't hear me. I need somebody to say, you can hear me, you can't hear me fast. So we know if it's from my end. Can you hear me? You can't. Off my AirPods. Can you, Kings? I think it might be from you because everybody can hear my wonderful voice. So I think it's from Kingsley. His network might not be networking. Um, but that's okay. That means we get to have him again back on our live session next time. But without wasting everyone else's time and continuing to stay here while Nigerian Network does what it does. Um, I will be officially ending this live soon if there are no more questions. But I'm so excited that you guys got to hang out with us, and I really enjoyed the conversation. I think having more of these conversations would inspire so many people. Yeah, King is not talking, and I do not know why he can't hear us. Hello, Kingsley. Have we completely lost you? Oh, yeah. I think we've completely lost him. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. And he's trying to join again.
I'm so sorry. I mean,
No, we
the
can hear you
network
now. No, you're fine. Hey, this
the network has
this
been bad
this
recently.
space, okay, this is not that formal, and I just want us to be able to talk about whatever, but obviously we still have to deal with American network and Nigerian network, so hey,
Crazy, crazy.
crazy. But we're here, and I'm so glad for the things we've been able to talk about and the insights that you've already given, which is wonderful. You were going to talk about, you were going to give us like
Yeah.
the last bit, and then we're going to end the live. Okay, go.
So I just wanted to share a little bit more insight on how photographers, creatives, especially photographers, videographers, storytellers can actually create money, like generate revenues for themselves and their brands in Akwa Ibom. So apparently we have a lot of historical spots in Akwa Ibom. Like you talk about maybe the the bridge of no return in
Mm,
Ikodobasi.
mm-hmm.
Ikodobasi alone, the Lord Lugard South, those
Yeah.
are really, really, valuable spots that those pictures are really valuable. Those
Yeah.
contents are really valuable that will generate a lot of funds and income, like having revenues for your brand. So, for instance, as a photographer, you go there, take a couple of pictures, all of those details, those slave trade details, and all of
Mm-hmm.
those stuff, and then you come together, you put up like a mini exhibition. You're going to sell. You're going to make a lot of sales, and people will want to get those pictures in their apartment, in
Yeah.
their office, like historical,
Yeah.
content and stuff like that. Those
Mm-hmm.
prints going to generate a lot of more money. And then, as a videographer, you go there, you create all of these visual storytelling documentary rather. You
Mm-hmm.
come back now. As you also need to be open to information. Like as
Right.
photographers, there are sites you can sell these pictures. As much as you have,
Absolutely.
as much as you have copyright reserves and
Mm-hmm.
licensing to these pictures, you can put them out.
Yeah.
You can even if you're not selling them, you
Mm-hmm.
can get donations much later,
Yeah.
right? But you put them out, just be able to share your creative thought process to the public, and
Yeah.
then it will boost your confidence as well, and as well generate more revenues for you. Much it could be a little bit later or something, but what I'm saying is that with this you could make more money. Now there are businesses in Uyo, in Akwa Ibom. Let me use Uyo as a case study. There are small scale businesses, right, that you could
Mm-hmm.
go in, share an ideal picture of what you have to create.
Go
You
with
can
your portfolio. We've talked
create
about that in the previous
like
live.
there
Portfolio.
are restaurants, they are not really having social media visibility. They're
Yeah.
not having quality images to sell the product on social media. You go
Yes.
there, you create like just not sort of tell the story, express what you can offer, right? And then come together, create the content. If you are taking 100,000 per
Mm-hmm.
shoot, you can slash the price down to a 50-50, and
Right.
then 50 goes for collaboration and 50 goes for logistics, and you still have something with you to take back home,
Yeah.
right? With that, if you can, like I always tell, my students, if you charge 20,000 times 100, as worst case scenario, as least as 10,000 times, on like 10,000 times 50, that's a huge amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're going to 20 restaurants, 30 restaurants, and tell them, I can create pictures that can sell your business on social media and probably help you create a digital catalog for your
Yeah.
business. That's a
But
product.
that's how people find restaurants. Like when I travel to a new place, I always look up on social media to see what exactly people are saying in real time about this particular brand, and maybe just the kind of experiences people have in the restaurants, or if, because people on social media will tell you if your food is shit or not. They will tell
Exactly.
you where to go
Exactly.
have a good time in a new city. And these are things
Exactly.
that photographers can take advantage of.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly. So you with this, you collaborate with graphics artists that would
mm-hmm,
put all of this context together in a portfolio, like a digital
yeah,
catalog,
yeah,
and then you can also collaborate with the videographer, put this together, and then give a fair price and payable price, right?
mm-hmm,
And
yeah,
then anybody that sees something beneficial with valuable content that will benefit their brand, their company, that will,
exactly.
create more sales, like valuable sales,
Yeah,
potential valuable sales. They'll buy the idea, and you can
absolutely.
create from this. Let's assume you're doing 10,000, worst case scenario, 10,000 times 20 businesses,
Mm-hmm,
and then calculate 10,000 naira times 50 businesses. You're seeing at least a million naira.
right.
So there are very different strategy that it doesn't matter where you are. It's about how creative and how strategic you are.
Absolutely.
Like for me, my ideology has always been take advantage of where you are and build to develop to a point of getting you what you want and where you want to,
And where you
you know.
want to be exactly. That
Exactly.
that is so insightful. So I mean, I keep saying if you've not taken anything, so our previous live that concluded abruptly, we talked a lot about some of the things you can do as a photographer to get yourself ready to start taking advantage of these opportunities. Because you cannot walk into a restaurant and just tell them, "Oh, I'm a photographer. I can take pictures of your brand. Da, 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 da. Trust me. Give me your money." Are you mad? No, no brand will take you, no restaurant, no business will take you seriously. You have to approach the business and tell them, this is what I can do. That's what you're doing. I can help you elevate that. And always, always make sure that whatever you're offering a business, a local business, is going to benefit them to bring revenue or to bring more clients or something. You can't just say, oh, well, you need a good photos for your brand. Why? You need to be able to explain to the brands what the benefits are, because you as a creative know exactly what benefits are, right? And these brands honestly don't know. They really do
Exactly.
not know.
They
Yeah.
don't. They don't. They don't. So I mean, that's when building a convincing portfolio and profile comes to
Hmm.
play,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, I could recall when my brand was invited for an interview and presentation.
Hmm.
So we were able to create slides.
Yes.
Those slides document make made like a top professional presentation,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah. Of
and we got the job,
course.
and my brand is like the photography partner
Hmm.
to that, like the brand is like the top two banks in Nigeria.
Wow.
So it goes beyond just being a creative, right? So at some point you understand that when you build a solid corporate business, people
Hmm.
take organizations takes you most seriously,
They do.
right?
They really, really do.
They take you most seriously. Nobody wants to deal with an individual photographer. Nobody wants to deal with just a personal person. Like
Yeah.
yes, it's good. You must be convincing. You must create that a business approach
Packaging,
Like,
guys, packaging. You can't forget to package
it's,
yourself
so
and what you do.
the
Like,
whole branding factor thing, right? So you have to put yourself in
no,
that perspective that
yeah.
like you like sparking. So when you're creating this document, it's not just shabby stuff. It's well branded. That when they look at it, they see you more as a more serious, organized organization. So
Mm-hmm.
this thing, I mean, to an extent, I'm just encouraging creative.
Yeah.
You need to go beyond the level of I'm just a
I'm
photographer.
just
I'm just a
no,
videographer.
no talk photograph.
I'm just a fashion designer.
I'm just a talk fashion
If you have contact like my brand, I know that at this point my brand can work for any organization in the world as a
mm-hmm.
photography brand and
Yeah,
partner
yeah,
because we've attained that height. And there's a
yeah.
lot of factors which maybe when you probably host me in your next space, I'm
Yes.
going to talk about those factors that have to put your brand on a very solid state
Yeah.
that would require your brand to work with certain brands.
I'm excited for the next one you're going to come out. Oh god, this is going to be so good. And I mean, I think we've unpacked a lot that
Absolutely.
if any creative has listened, I think you have gotten a lot that can take your brand from wherever you are right now to at least a step further where you are supposed to be. And I like how you mentioned the fact that brands and businesses yeah, they took mentality. Like, I like how you said and businesses do not want to sometimes, especially big businesses, they don't want to deal with you as an individual photographer because they are thinking of like the bureaucracy you have to go through some of that, or they will be thinking they have corporates and people who sign the checks and sign the money that want to see a document before they want to
Exactly.
see what are we
Evidence.
paying for, right? What are we investing 2 million naira in, right? They want to at least see that, not just, oh, my cousin knows how to take pictures. No, nobody cares about your cousin who knows how to take
It
pictures.
doesn't work that way,
Like,
by the way. It doesn't. It
nobody
doesn't work
cares.
that way.
Your cousin
Right?
has to be a brand, and even if it's a one man brand, okay, I want to say that part because even if you are just one person and you're like, oh, I don't have any family, I don't have anybody to help me, da 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 da. No, you have to not think that way to be able to thrive. You can't think, oh, even if you're just a one man person, create your portfolio, create your business templates to look as if you have a team. And when it's time to execute the jobs, this is where collaboration comes in.
That's
There's
that's
so many other photographers that you can collaborate with and say, hey guys, I have a job on the 15th. I need 3 people to be in my team. You guys will all wear
exactly
you wear my
exactly.
brand t-shirts, right? And then we all show up there as a brand. Meanwhile, it's just you.
So
So,
I
um,
know
yeah,
a lot of creatives have have a lot of problems in terms of collaboration, and that shapes my mentality as a young creative because I always consider collaboration over competition, right?
right.
So who wants to compete and like, oh, it maybe it does best picture, I want to do the best picture, like, right? Collaboration makes the whole thing easy. It
Mm-hmm.
makes it creates that seamless process for everybody
Yeah.
to stay excited, make more money, stay happy, and then, just do your thing, right? So for me,
Yeah.
I always say that I collaborate a lot. There's something I'm planning where I want to like create photography, real time, photography, like show
Wow.
like a huge lot of photographers coming in, and then we're going to collaborate with fashion designers, models, makeup artists, and whatnot. And then we're creating pictures in real time. We're sending out pictures on social media, in real time. In real time, we just bombard social media with different one picture, different photographers, different concept, different
Right.
ideas, different interpretation, different concept entirely.
That's
Right.
awesome.
So for me, I'm I'm very much I'm very much of a person that believes so much in collaboration
Yeah.
and not in competition.
Is this going to be this? Because, hey, you just gave us an exclusive. If you are a creative, you're a photographer, you need to follow Kingsley. You need to subscribe to his channel because he just told us something that I don't think any other platform has heard it yet. I'm sure he will announce it on his Twitter and other places, but that is
Honestly,
so cool because I think
honestly,
that will help so many photographers or amateur photographers to build on their
confidence.
portfolio, and they'll be able to see the works of other experts photographers, right? And they'll be able to ask questions. You can get a mentor from that program, I'm sure, because they'll be seasoned, I hope, photographers, right? And creatives.
Mhm.
So
Of
you'll be
course.
able to talk to people and say, hey, can you mentor me? I love your work. I love your style of photography and da da da. And I love the way, like, don't be afraid to ask people to teach you. More people, I think more people are willing to teach what
Okay,
they know.
let me just chip in something to let me respond to David Isaiah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Andy has really been an amazing friend, and she's really investing into Akwa Ibom. You know, so we are the NGO, we're board members. One of the core factor is to build mindset shift,
Yes.
right? So when you have this mindset shift, the mentality of a toxic syndrome will disappear, right?
Absolutely
Will
disappears.
disappear
Yeah.
because when you're aware of something, you will not think little.
When
When
you're
you
aware
have
of the abundance in this
exactly
world,
when you have the abundance,
the
when you're
abundance
knowledgeable
in this
about
world,
certain
ugh,
things, you will not think little.
you will
You're
not.
thinking global. You're not like self-confidence,
Yes.
self-worth. You understand your values, you understand your potentials, and it like the toxic syndrome will run away. It will
It,
disappear, right? So
it will.
the, we are in a work in progress. That's one of the key factors to invest into awareness, like mindset shift awareness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Such that the young people will be able to think differently and not. I think our parents and our four parents really embodied this small etox syndrome thing. We
But
are
it's not
eradicating
their fault though. It's really these people dealt with British people who everything that they say is, oh, it's just a little, it's just a little. Our people now translated it to a syndrome. Now it's everything is a tox. You know, I want to
exactly,
have a tox a torida. Me with that torida. Kai torudwa. Nteme torofere. Like what? Just
exactly,
cook. Just go to the market.
exactly,
Everything because
exactly.
they
Thank
don't
you.
realize that it's becoming a part of their vocabulary and it's actually seeping into their business practices, right? Because you're still like, oh, it's just a business. No, it's
Mhm.
not. You can be employing unemployed graduates. It's not a business.
Exactly. So,
Crazy.
uh, in less than no time, there will be a mind. There will be like a massive awareness mindset shift.
Yeah.
We're working towards that.
It's
Creating that experience, that mindset shift process that will generate a lot of mental shift and all of that. So,
yeah.
I mean, we are up to something, and trust
We
me,
are. We are.
I
And yeah.
right now there's an awakening in Akwa Ibom,
Yeah.
especially the young people, that
Yeah.
we could hold the government accountable for poor leadership, for
Mm-hmm.
bad leadership, and all of
Mm-hmm.
these things still falls back to bad leadership because if there is a working system, there will be like an environment where ideas thrives,
Right.
where there's a concrete information to gain to sort of effect awareness for the
Mm-hmm.
young people.
Yeah.
So we are on this.
We
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 do.
are we are
We're going
working.
to eradicate all of this
Yeah.
that has been going on for years. All
Yeah.
right. So thank you for putting that out. Really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
seriously. And I'm glad you mentioned what our NGO is doing regarding that because that is a part. I think that's a core of what we are the problem we're tackling as an NGO is really that mentality. Because once you can get someone to start thinking big, right? Once you can get someone else to start thinking about themselves in terms of the value they can produce within themselves, honestly, you have done the work, okay? The only thing that is left now is for that person to take that inspiration, this newly found value system within themselves, take it and run, right? Take it and apply it to whatever skills they already have. Because Apple minds are so talented. It
We are
pains
we
me.
we,
It
we are talented. We are so creative.
it
We are
pains me
highly
to see
creative.
how talented we are and at the same time how we're not benefiting from those talents. And I'm like, what? Anyway, but that's part of the things that we're tackling as an NGO. So I'm glad you mentioned that. But yeah, um, he also mentioned, David also mentioned, being a creative is difficult. People do not want to collaborate in film. I have no experience with collaborations in the film industry, but um, in Akwa Ibom, I do know that we are advancing a lot with our movies, are doing really great these days. I know that we're doing a lot of good work, but when you say it's difficult to get people to collaborate, like in film, what do you mean? Do you mean the actresses are not willing to collaborate, especially we talked about this just now.
So
Amateur creatives are so fixated on getting paid first before they develop their skills. And I'm like, what? Somebody's giving you an opportunity to learn and grow to becoming a better actress or to becoming a better singer or whatever. Think of that as your learning experience. That's you paying yourself. That's you investing in yourself. But they want to get paid before they, perfect their crafts, and it is crazy.
let me also add this to David, right? So I think I talked about this earlier, but I'm going to re-emphasize it again, right? So there's category to all of these things. You know, for instance, there are stages, there are categories. So look for those passionate young actors that want to be actors wholeheartedly,
Yeah.
passionately. Get them.
Yeah.
They don't require too much. They just need little things, and then they'll give you their best as much as you're willing to put them on a much better perspective,
As
right?
long as you're helping them
Yeah.
grow.
If you have a
But
project to work
yeah.
with David, you can follow my. I'm going to allow you to reach out to me. I have a couple actors in Lagos I would speak to, top directors and actors. I
Wow.
would want to speak to them and then to also, try to introduce you to them as well. And, you know, in a much better context,
Yeah.
don't go for the top, models or top actors you think
Because they're
you want to do
expensive.
your project.
Yeah.
Keep your project, enjoy that building process.
That process. Yeah.
Enjoy it to the fullest.
Yeah.
Enjoy every bit because now the universe has already placed you on a spot that you need to understand the progress, the time
Hmm.
and season. So you go with that, right? So go enjoy the timing from this starting level, grow with the people you think would make your project a success. The next project to build. Now you before people come in and then want to work with you, it means that you have an evidence, you have a convincing portfolio that would attract them. That's the value,
Right.
the potentials that has to be established
Yeah.
before they can come in and work with you, knowing that there's going to be a share of value. There's going to be a transactional value where
Yeah.
they're benefiting from you and you're also benefiting from them.
Beneficial.
They don't want to give you 100 or 90% of their value to you,
And
where
then
they can't
you're,
see much
yeah,
in
in
return
return.
from you.
Yeah.
So you have to build the process, build a team, build your stars,
Hmm.
build your stars. There are too many young stars in the world, young, vibrant youth, young people that want to
Yeah.
be
That
actors.
want to become.
Get
Yeah.
them, get them. They don't require a lot, just a very little thing, and then they'll give you the best. From there you pitch. That's the portfolio. From there you pitch, then you just keep accelerating to a very certain level. But for
Yeah.
now, don't allow that to discourage you. Just let it go. Build from the just understand the process, how it works, and go with that. That's what I can just
That's
add.
yeah, that's I think that's valuable advice because and I think another thing that a lot of creatives face, especially if you're an amateur, right, and you're trying to work with someone who is already doing something or has a platform that you can utilize. I think another thing is being treated sometimes with condescending, attitude or whatever. So you a lot of people look down on amateur creatives, right? It's like, oh, that's why they end up using them instead of giving them a platform to grow. They end up using them because they're like, oh, well, I have the platform, I have the vision, the whatever. You are just the talent and you're an amateur talent. So give me your skills and expect nothing in return because I'm giving you a platform. But I don't think that's enough, because even when you mentor a young person that is maybe working for you, you have to let them realize that they have the potential to be in in your position someday in the future, right? It's not just, oh, come and work for me and give me your all and all, but I will not pay you anything, or I'll pay you peanuts and insult your life because you're an amateur. So I think that's something that maybe other mentors can also take note. If you are one of the people who talk down on amateur creatives or young people just trying to learn, and they will make a lot of mistakes because they just don't know. But the more you teach them, if they are receptive and growing, you will see it will be evident in the ways they improve their craft.
Now, let me share. Sorry for cutting you. Let me share a quick story. So, obviously, I'm a leader. I'm a photography leader. So I always look out for photographers wherever I see photographers, being an old or amateur, professional
Yeah,
or amateur. I always look out for them,
yeah,
right? So I cannot be in a place and I see a photographer treated badly. I'll intervene for that photographer because
hmm
I advocate for photographers. So I will intervene. Now I did a job for Beat FM brunch.
hmm
So I was a photographer, and there were other photographers with different brand that had booth and stuff. So I realized that this photographer was struggling to take pictures. I saw that he was not convincing with his images,
hmm
and his flashlight was giving him issues. So I went to him and asked him, "Are you okay with these pictures you're taking?" He said, "No, boss." I told him, "Okay." I gave somebody my camera. I gave my assistant my camera to hold for me. I just took his stuff, fixed his stuff for him, and then asked him to shoot. And he shot, and his picture came out. He was trying. He was pleased.
yeah,
I was able to come through for him. Now
yeah.
that is what leadership is about. You looking out for the people
The younger
in your
creative.
profile, your
Yeah,
own creatives, right? The people
yeah,
you feel like. So I feel very irritating when I see a photographer looking down on, maybe just looking down on the other photographer, because
yeah.
why
Just because they're an amateur, and I think that the reason I brought that up is because I've had people that I've spoken with in the past, and they've mentioned how they got into something, and because of maybe the way the mentor, supposed mentor, sort of treated them and all of that, they realized, or they decided, right, that they are no longer going to pursue that thing, even though they probably had a lot of passion for it. And it
Mhm.
can be discouraging to find someone that maybe you look up to in your industry treating you like absolute crap instead of
Exactly.
teaching
So
you.
while
So,
mhm. So while I was in Uyo, I was training. I had like 5 students in my
mhm,
office.
mhm.
So when I'm teaching, I'm teaching with what's this stuff called?
A monitor,
Yeah, I'm teaching with no, not just a monitor.
project, projector, maybe. I don't know.
So I'm teaching with a
Yeah,
projector. I had like 5 students.
right.
When we're going out for event, nobody knows who is the boss because I treat my interns so well.
Mm-hmm.
The way I treat my interns, how I treat them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any cost to make.
I think Nigerian network is coming for us again, but it's okay because we will. Yeah, it's okay. I was about to say we have about 10 minutes to wrap up, so yeah, just give us that last point, and then we will wrap up.
Yeah, what I'm saying in essence is that to always try to treat your intern very well. Teach them like just love them like you love yourself. I used to buy clothes for my students,
Wow.
buy clothes for them, take them to my house, give them my keys, go up to the house and eat.
Yeah.
I treat them well. So, and I'm so proud that today they call me and say, boss, boss, and they're doing well.
Yeah.
That is what is generating revenues for them. They're like top
Absolutely.
photographers now, right?
Yeah.
So I look back and see how I taught them. Some of them I didn't even get a dime from them because they couldn't afford me,
Right.
and I had to teach them. I had to teach them wholeheartedly. So my point is that David, just leave the top professionals.
Yeah. I think I think we've lost him again. But David, you probably heard what he said. Just leave the top, you know, actors and people who probably are looking down on collaborating with you because it's not financially, I suppose the incentive is not there for them. Just work with the younger people who are ready to learn and grow. And to be honest, that's really the future. When we're investing in the future, that's what we typically mean, investing in the human capacity of Akwa Ibomites, investing in the human capacity of Nigerians. I think that's essentially um, what this was about. We've lost Kingsley again, but unfortunately, we have to end the live soon. And I'm so excited for all of you who joined us, even if it's just for a minute or two. I will always be your sweetest hostess or whatever you call them that do live sessions. But thank you so much for hanging with me, guys. And I will see you on our next live. Our next live should be on Sunday. So we will probably have these live sessions only on Sundays because some of us have to work on Fridays. So we'll probably keep this live once a week and on Sundays. And I'll try as much as I can to bring on so many young, talented Akwa mites who are doing great and who have great practical advice that they can share with other Akwa young people. Again, thank you. I am Aidi Tanndy, and I will see you in my next live. I hope you have a wonderful week, and yeah, stay safe and keep investing in yourself. Bye.